You and Chris are going to be in here talking about God knows what.
Wanted to do it.
Oh. Apparently the intro covered a lot of that, thank goodness. Probably did. Yeah. Unless, depends on how I edited it.
Let me tell you something, folks. If you could have seen us back in the audio days.
Yo. It weren't pretty.
No.
It weren't pretty.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm starting early.
Okay, do it.
Because I'm thirsty. Drink local. Please drink local.
Hey, guys, welcome to the Retro Show. The Retro Show is
an homage.
See there? I caught him, but he still pulled it up. It's an homage.
I have a lot of experience with waitresses walking up to your table and asking if you need anything else.
How's that food?
What after you take them?
Really good. The Retro Show is an homage to growing up in the 70s and 80s like Chris and I did, and we often talk about those good old hallowed, what's the word I'm looking for?
Use that
storied days.
Loosely.
Storied days.
Very loosely. It seems like yesterday, and then it seems like another freaking planet.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Totally different. Ladies and gentlemen, the Retro Show, if you want to find out all about us, go to retroshow.net. Links to all of our previous podcasts. You need to go check those out because we've got like 50-something of them.
We also have a phone number.
Yeah.
501-697-9933.
That's what he said. And you can call us and leave us a text there. You can call and leave a voicemail. You can also leave a text. No one's going to pick up that phone. I'm just telling you right now. It ain't happening. You know what I have also used that number for?
I can only imagine.
Well, you know when you have to fill out a form and you really don't want to put your phone number, but they require a phone number, I put that one in.
It's a working phone number.
It's a working phone number. And that way...
I may have to do that myself.
Yeah, get you a Google Voice phone number and boom.
Bam. Boom chakalaka.
Boom chakalaka. Works like a hose.
Chakalaka?
Chaka-Khan.
Let me rock you, Chaka-Khan. That's a good tune.
That is a great tune. Is it not a great tune? Ladies and gentlemen, the Retro Show, we have practically every week we have put out one except for like recently.
It has been a while.
And then one time or two times before that. But almost all the time, every Tuesday, we drop a new episode.
I got sick, then you got sick.
Yeah, I got sick. Let me tell you what Debbie and I did. I don't know if I told you this story yet. So we go to Dallas at the 1st of June. Okay.
Something just dawned on me.
It's not the punchline.
I'm sorry.
So we go to Dallas at the I don't know why that was funny.
I mean, I was just gonna. You and Debbie?
Yeah.
So you and Debbie did Dallas?
Yeah.
It just really dawned on me, dude. I'm sorry. That was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Debbie! Oh, my Lord.
Anyway, we headed to Dallas, actually north of Dallas, an area around called the Colony, Texas, which sounds like a place like have a cult in, but it's a town called the Colony, Texas.
It's a little town called Waco. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and so not like Waco. But yeah, we go down there for the 30th anniversary of Bowling for Soup, and
oh yeah, man,
yeah. Great show, great show. It's a great 2-night show, and fun was had by all. But I want to tell you something, man. Texas does things like on a whole other level.
They do.
If you go down,
I agree, 100%.
And
I don't have a problem with Texas.
Listen.
I like Texas.
A lot, especially since there's no more Southwest Conference. But
Right?
yeah, right.
And then here comes Texas.
And then
the
here
SEC.
comes Texas again in the SEC. But that's okay. They can be a spoiler for Alabama. That's the way I look at it.
I'm really kind of pissed off at them because they drug Oklahoma with them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Sorry,
Thanks,
guys.
Tex.
If that's
Thanks,
your team,
UT.
we're both in Arkansas. We're both Hog fans, and we're like, if you're in the SEC, we probably don't like your team very much.
Sorry.
We may like you, but we're probably not going to like your team very much.
But I do like some of the things we got to do while we were down there. We went to a place called Shields Sporting Goods.
I actually ordered my last pair.
What are you eyeballing out there?
Well, there's a dog out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's my neighbor. She's got it. That is an Italian water dog.
It's a cool looking dog.
That is a very cool looking dog. And yeah. Chris is eyeballing the dog out the window.
It's got a pink collar on.
Yep. It's a good dog.
That is a cool dog.
Yeah, we see.
I'm sorry. Things were going on outside the window that y'all couldn't see and caught my
caught his attention. Squirrel, dog, Portuguese water dog.
Yeah, I've got a little AD.
She also has chickens that she runs out there every once in a while.
Is that right?
Yeah. So anyway,
so many places to go with that.
Yeah,
it's like a softball.
It is.
I could have hit the home run with that one. I could have.
Anyway, we went to Shields, and you say you've ordered stuff from Shields before.
And I've looked at their stuff online. That's a cool store.
Okay, but did you know they actually have a Ferris wheel in there?
Yeah.
A full-size Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
So the thing that comes to my mind is
it's on their webpage. That's how I know that.
It's Police Academy 2.
I don't know.
I hate Ferris wheels. But no, it was it was a cool. I actually ended up getting a pair of shoes while I was there. But yeah.
What'd you get?
There. I got some Brooks Ghost GTS. Yeah.
That was Cindy's running shoes for a year.
Yeah.
My wife runs. I still don't know why, but she does. And
I've been running my mouth.
Huh?
I've been running my mouth.
Yeah, man. I always tell people, you see me running, you better start running.
Because something bigger and better than you's after you.
And I will push you down.
Trip. Oh, too bad. But yeah, we went to Texas to see Bowling for Soup. Now, for those of you if you know that their big hit that they had was 1985, which is just perfect for Gen X guys. I'm telling you, that is you talk about a Gen X homage song.
That is, and we saw them at Juanita's years ago. I don't remember what year that was.
10 years ago.
Was that just 10 years? No, dude, it's got to be longer than 10 years ago. So I've been at the facility. I'm at 16.
Oh, no, 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago. Yeah.
There's no way it was 10 years ago.
It's 20 years ago.
And I was still working.
Yeah. Well, they just had their 30th anniversary. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, great show.
It was a good show then.
A lot of fun. A band that opened up for them that I got to be friends with the singer, a guy named Ted Felicetti, and he sings for a band called Don't Panic. I highly recommend them. Great band, great opening band. Nice guy too. Nice guys in that band. So,
very cool.
But yeah, we had a good time. That's kind of what we did down there. We are taking off to Wisconsin in a couple of weeks.
Bring me back some cheese.
I will.
And some beer.
I will.
But local beer.
Yeah, and some cheese curds from.
So
up
my
there.
neighbor, he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
and he's got a buddy that came down and they gave me some beer that was actually really good.
It depends. My brother-in-law lives up there.
It was like he specially brought this beer down to him because that was what he drank when he was in Milton. You can't get it here. So it was good. It was good.
Yeah, some good stuff up there. And the cheese. One time we went up there and there was just like a local dairy that you could go buy cheese curds at.
Heck yeah.
The cows were there. The little cheese place was there.
If you pull up and it's a farm and there's no cows, but they're serving cheese, it's probably not their freaking cheese. You know what I'm saying?
If it's a dairy and there's no cows at the dog. Yeah. But anywho.
Hey, I'm sorry, dude. What is she doing? Man, that looks like drywall.
Dude, I have no idea.
She got a body.
I think that's drywall.
She got a body.
Check the crawl spaces. That's all I'm saying. Check the crawl spaces. She's unloading drywall. I don't know. Dude, they're from California, so you know. that happens.
What kind of dog you say that is?
As an Italian water dog.
Italian water dog.
Not like a Portuguese water dog, which I thought it was. It's an Italian water
you
dog.
actually came up with that in a conversation? You thought it was a Portuguese water dog,
Yes.
and she corrected you and said, no, it's a
Because
Italian
yes.
water dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Exactly.
All over this like a bad rash.
Yeah. People are listening to this podcast going, what's this podcast about? Okay, thanks. We don't know either. We don't either.
With these two guys.
We don't know either. People have have wondered what has been wrong with us.
I tell you this, man. The next time we do this podcast, those blinds will be closed.
Yeah, because squirrel.
Either that or I'll be on the other side of the table away from the window. I can't do it, man. I'm sorry.
Guys, we're going to talk about Southern rock bands a little bit later today because growing up where we did, and there was a time where Southern rock was huge in the 70s.
Yep.
It really just took
Late
off.
70s, early 80s.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about some of our favorite Southern rock bands that are out there, and then maybe some of the bands that were influenced, by Southern rock too, a little bit later. First of all, what I want to do, Chris, is I want to talk about the producers of the Retro Show. You may be thinking to yourself, how can I give Chris and Butch money? Well, there's several ways to do that, but one way to do that is to go to our website at retroshow.net, and you can click on Become a Producer, and then you can go in and find out all about becoming a show producer for the Retro Show. And for a mere $3 a month, Chris,
For this quality entertainment.
For this quality entertainment, you can't just find this anywhere. You generally have to go to a trailer park, and you don't even have to do that.
Here's the deal, though. I mean, we're fixing to do it now, and every show we will announce your name.
We will announce your name if you become a
and
producer.
that's really
yes,
cool.
And right now I say 30 is the limit, but you know what? I may go 31, 32. I'm just saying if you guys want to pony up.
I mean, some people you just can't reach. They just always got to push it. They got to push it.
They got to push it ahead. They got to push it ahead. Always one step further. Always one step further. Chris, kick us off here. Who do we need to thank?
The LNC Corporation.
We always need to thank the LNC Corporation.
Absolutely.
And we do not cross the LNC Corporation. No.
Bad move.
Our most recent producer, Terry Schatz.
Yep.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you very much, Terry. I appreciate it. Kate Salter.
Yep. Thank you, Kate.
Yep.
Roger McDougal. Salesman extraordinaire.
Melinda Hignite.
Thank you, Melinda.
I hope, Melinda, if we're saying that right, please let us know. Do you know that's right?
I think that's right. Either that or it's like really French and it's like Hignite. But I don't think so.
I mean, please let us know if we're saying that right, because I would feel horrible if I'm saying it wrong.
It might bother him for 2 or 3 seconds. I'm telling you. At least 2 or 3 seconds. Good old Dusty Breeze. Thank you, Dusty.
You know what, Dusty? I'm just going to reach out to you right now. Connect with me in this camera. Do not put up with that anymore. Just saying, it's a joke every week, it's getting old. And I feel for you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So pick up that phone, call him, and tell him what you really think about him.
I'm going to keep doing that joke.
I wouldn't put up with it.
Yeah. Kevin Goff.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Norton.
Chris B.
Thank you, Chris B.
Wait. We messed up because I really like to do this next one.
You go ahead and do it,
This
Chris.
is my favorite.
You go ahead.
I mean, it's just the name. I love the name. Nancy Schwartz.
Nancy Schwartz.
Tell Joe I said hello.
Thank you. And say hi to your mother for me. Joshua Ramsey.
Big Josh Ramsey.
Wait. Can I say that again? Joshua Ramsey. There you go.
Just off the trail.
Just
some
off
of
the
that
trail.
coffee we make.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah. Thanks for that lead in there. We'll actually talk about that in a second.
For whom the brew flows.
That's right. And then we have
Fran Adams.
Thank you, Fran. E.M.
Fran.
E.M.
E.M. Thanks,
Thank you.
E.M. You know what? I'm not giving him this credit every week. I'm just not doing it.
Bradford Mason. Brad Mason, and say hi to Donna.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Tanya, you'll always be number one. It doesn't
I
matter
know.
what else happens in this world.
The first producer we ever had.
You will always be number one.
Thank you to Tanya
thank you so
and
much.
all of our fantastic supporters. Find out how you can support the podcast by heading to retroshow.net, and we thank you.
I think that's the longest thank for the producers we've ever done.
Yeah, it's okay.
It got out of control.
It's
It got
okay.
you know what?
That's why I like doing them live.
Nancy, I'm going to be honest with you. We've known each other a long time. And I just love your last name. I do.
Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you.
Awesome.
Awesome. But yeah, we. So, have you any plans this summer? The kids are all home right now.
I got too much going on.
You got-
I cannot leave
That's
town.
true.
I cannot leave
You got
town.
a lot
so-
happening right now.
So that's not
Yeah.
going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
things change in the future.
Yeah.
Something may be different. But right now,
Yeah.
I can't leave town.
But the kids are all home right now.
Yeah, Cannon's home
great.
from school. Cannon's got a job. He's
Cannon's got
knocking
a
it
job.
out.
He's working.
He still ain't doing nothing around the house. I'm just saying, Cannon, if you're listening, which I'm sure you always listen to our podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
got all his friends up at Vietnam.
Yeah, I'm sure listening to this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, listen to it, guys. Yeah.
And then my daughter is, she just went to SOAR today
Yeah.
at UCA, so
Yeah.
she's getting ready to start college.
Great. Fantastic.
She's going to be a bear like every other Curtis
The
that's
bear.
ever been. So,
Hey,
yeah,
right here. Right here.
Right.
UCA, University of Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. Da Bears.
So here's the deal, folks. I mean, that's my alma mater, but if you grow up here, you're a Hog fan. Always.
You can be both.
You can. You have to be. I mean, I got some friends that are misguided and that are Texas fans that,
Oh,
really
I'm
close
sorry.
personal friends.
I'm
And
sorry.
I still hang out with them, but,
Yeah. You can always tell a Texan. Now, you can't tell them a lot, but you can always tell a Texan.
Anyway,
Anywho.
that's what's going on in my life.
That's what's going on in your life. Let's see. Anything else that's happening? It's hot.
It is hot.
Sweet fancy Moses.
It's only June.
It's only June, and like the heat index today was stupid. If you look at that
What
on
was it,
this,
110?
yeah,
That's crazy.
it's stupid. And you walk outside, and it's like just a blast furnace, and it's just stupid.
How much? What was the humidity? Did you see?
I didn't see what the.
That's the
percentage
deal
was.
here. See, a lot of you hot places, y'all don't. I mean, Florida. I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all will do things on Louisiana. I'm not. I'm not talking to
your
you either.
humidity. Yep.
But that humidity level goes up with the heat. Oh my gosh! It's
Yep.
like it's like
Anybody in the
breathing
South and
a
parts of the
wet
Midwest
blanket.
who get that humid thing in the Midwest and the South and stuff like that, you get it.
Yep.
In these more arid places, they're going, oh, that's nothing. It gets to 115. No, it's
Yeah,
different.
It's not the same thing. And it's
I've
the
been
same
in
way
100
with cold.
Yeah.
You get out like into Colorado. I think me and my brother got on a ski slope, got on a lift,
Yeah.
and it was like 22 below.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel.
It didn't feel it.
It's crazy.
I have been colder. Okay, so like you said, I have been in Colorado in January with very cold temperatures and very low humidity.
Yep.
Okay,
It's totally
I've also
different.
been sitting outside or camping when it was 45 degrees and was freezing my back end off.
So funny you should mention that
Because of the
rabbit hole.
humidity.
It goes with what we're talking about tonight because I think we're going to talk about some newer bands that are out there.
Yeah.
But one of these bands was actually playing at Cass Mountain, which is where that's at.
Yeah.
At Ozark, and they were opening for Zach Brown. That is the most miserable I think I've ever been in my entire life because when we got out of the truck, it was 40, probably 42 degrees, 43 degrees, winds blowing 25 miles an hour, and it's misting.
Ooh.
And it was just like,
That's miserable.
and the band, the band that we kind of went to see, which we'll talk about later,
Yeah.
they're playing as we're just trying to get into the venue. Driving up the
Yeah.
mountain was crazy. They were checking cars going in. Everybody had to stop. Then we stood in line, ran into Bobby below.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Bobby in 25, 30
Yeah, and-
years.
and you're both
he's
freezing.
in line behind me. Yeah, man, we talked the whole time. But it was brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
brutal.
But the topic today, friends, Southern rock. Okay?
That is a genre.
That is a genre. And here's the cool thing about Southern rock, man, is it actually covers a lot of genres, if you think about it. It hits a little in the country. It may hit a little in the country and still be...
But it's the heavy side of country.
But it's the heavy side.
Yeah.
It may hit in the blues a little bit. It definitely hits into rock and roll because it's Southern rock. But, you know, some Southern rock bands lean a little bit more towards the blues side. Some lean a little more towards the country sound side.
Right.
And some have done both, like the Allman Brothers, depending on who their guitar player was at the time. You know, Dickie Betts. But, you know.
Well, there's another band on here, a newer band that's actually a former member. So
that's true. But, you know, what I want to talk about is how Southern rock exploded in the mid-'70s. And, you know,
there's two bands that I just looked at on here that were huge, instrumental in that happening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, tell me.
Well, the one's Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers. And I would argue that they were the first big
They were.
band.
And then right behind them would have been Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yeah.
At that time, they were huge. I mean,
yeah. Black Oak was big back in the
70s. Yes.
Yeah. And this is the time period where that kind of music had kind of taken off for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, you were coming out of that hippie fest era. I mean, when I say the late 60s, free love, the music had totally changed. And they rolled right out of that folky music right into a brand new style. I mean, it definitely awesome.
Yeah.
And these guys, to me, were just fantastic musicians.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get that much anymore.
No, you don't. But, you know, Southern rock to me, you know, like I said, it covers a lot of ground because I consider ZZ Top to be a Southern rock band, even though they're from Texas.
Texas blues, to me, more Texas blues than Southern rock. But you can throw them in there for sure.
You can throw them in there because I think they were a part of that whole thing there. But, you know, the Charlie Daniels band especially, to me, was huge.
He was a lot more, I would say Charlie Daniels was a lot more Southern rock than he was country. Now, he carried a country label.
He started off a lot more Southern rock. Yeah. I think as he got into the 80s, he started having more country hits because country music started being more. It
started to change.
Yeah. They actually caught up with Charlie Daniels. You know what I mean?
So if there are any young folks, which maybe not, listening to this show, the country music, the new country music you got coming out today ain't anywhere close to what country music was when we were
not at
younger.
All.
I mean,
it's
a lot of the
not
stuff
what we
that
grew
we
up
were
on.
listening to on the mainstream channels that was not country would be considered country.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
some of those bands, Ozark Mountain Daredevils, would be considered a country band, for sure. Hank Williams Jr. was always kind of country, but he, you know, I put him in there. He had a rock side to him. But, you know, those bands like even Skynyrd, some of their songs, you know, influenced a lot of country bands. Skynyrd probably influenced more country bands. Yeah,
they did.
And but you know,
and a lot of bands on this page were influenced by Lynyrd Skynyrd and the Allman Brothers.
Yeah. You know,
that was a different time.
You know, but you get bands. You had bands that were a little bit more to the rock side, a little harder.
Yeah.
Edge, like Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
Which love me some Molly Hatchet to this day.
We actually saw him 82?
81.
81.
Yeah.
81 with 38 Special opening.
Yeah.
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 We go way back with that band for sure.
With the band, yeah, and 38 Special. You just mentioned them. Now, 38 Special got a lot of more radio play. Probably they were a little bit more radio friendly.
Yeah, they were in They had music in a couple of movies.
Yeah,
and that really took them more mainstream than.
Yeah, and of course, some of their later albums they went
a lot more mainstream.
A lot more mainstream.
And so did a lot of bands, though.
Yeah, sure they do. Elvin Bishop. And Elvin Bishop, if you didn't, fooled around and fell in love, which ended up in Guardians of the Galaxy. So big one there. But the thing is their singer is Mickey Thomas, who would end up singing for Jefferson Starship later.
Really?
Yeah. The guy that sang Fooled Around and Fell in Love is the same guy that sings Jane, dude. So,
That's hilarious.
Georgia Satellites. Now, they came out in the 80s, but they were definitely a Southern rock band from that time.
Well, you've got one on here that I'm looking at that it really could be considered one of the earliest Southern rock bands, and the band.
The band. Oh,
I mean, really and truly,
Yeah.
they tore up the late 60s
yeah, they did.
and had a lot of hits.
They did.
And I would consider them definitely a forerunner of the Southern rock bands.
I do too, and along with them, Little Feat,
Yes.
too, because I always look at the band of Little Feat as kind of in the same genre.
Yep.
There, and
I agree 100%.
You know,
that Allman Brothers sound
yeah,
that they came out with, I think they influenced some of the later, like the Eagles.
oh, for sure.
The harmonies that they had, the harmonies with the different guitars playing. Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
that twin guitar, or sometimes three guitars playing up there at the time. And what was the thing? Okay, there was a thing that happened in the 70s and 80s with Southern rock bands. They almost all had two drummers at one point.
Skynyrd had two drummers.
Skynyrd had two drummers. For a while, I think 38 Special had two drummers. It was just a thing. It was a thing. It was a thing. If you were a Southern rock band, you had two drummers. But others on this list that I want to bring out is bands like after the plane crash with Skynyrd, Rossington Collins Band for a few years.
Well, Gary Rossington.
Great Southern rock band.
I mean,
yeah,
he's one of the members.
And I put them on the list because if you listen to some of their stuff, especially when maybe not his earlier stuff, but Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers on some of his stuff definitely has a Southern rock feel to it.
I'm going to tell you, we went and saw him. Boy, I don't remember what year that was. It's later. We were in Verizon.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He was so good in concert.
Oh, man.
His music. I love his music.
I
absolutely love his
Yep.
music.
So that was good. But other ones on this list, Atlanta Rhythm Section, Point Blank.
John Kilzer.
John Kilzer, dude.
I can't remember. Somebody was telling me a story, and I'm not going to throw your name out there, but you know who you are, and you listen to this podcast. But they went and saw John Kilzer at UALR.
Yeah.
And they were pretty out there when they got there. And walk in, this dude is real quiet. Hey, Kilzer, where's your drum set? Just yelling at him. He's like, oh my God. They had to leave.
I actually saw him do an acoustic set.
I think that was the same show.
Back in the day. Here's a story about John Kilzer, and I'm going to go on a rabbit hole here because his first album is called Memory in the Making. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's out of print. You may be able to find it on Spotify. I don't know. If you can find the CD, use somewhere, get it. Because to me, John Kilzer, the saddest thing about that is his first album is excellent. Yeah. It is excellent from start to finish. I still have it to this day. I love that album. John had some demons and some drug problems.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. He's a Memphis boy, so he wasn't too far from Little Rock. So he used to play around here quite a bit. I saw him after his album was out. I actually had a chance to sit and visit with him because he came to Hot Springs and played there. And but John had issues. John cleaned up, and the last, I don't know how many years, he was a Methodist minister.
Really?
That led a drug rehab program in Memphis.
That's awesome.
And he would still play some stuff on the weekends and stuff like that. But that was him. He was a pastor. And so, yeah, it was definitely a cool story about how he, turned around on that. But Kilzer's
definitely
album,
a lot more emotional than the story I was telling. But that,
yeah. Sorry.
But here, when you said that, the acoustic version, it sparked a memory. And he's not on this list, nor would he ever be on this list. But this album could be on this list. And it's an early album by Elton John. Called Tumbleweed Connection.
Yeah.
It is incredible. I don't have another Elton John album.
But you have that one.
But I have that one. And the whole album is awesome. It's almost country.
Really?
Almost country. And a really, really dear good friend of mine who turned me on to a lot of really good music in my life. Turned me on to that album. He said, you've got to listen to this album. And I bet we listened to it 100 times.
Yeah.
Because we fished together. He was my fishing partner. And he's no longer with us, and I miss him every day.
Oh, man, sorry.
But what an album. And I recommend it to everybody. It's Elton John, Tumbleweed Connection. If you like bands on this list, you will like that album.
I like that. So I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be on the list, but give me some of your favorite. Doesn't have to be in any particular order, but your favorite Southern rock acts out there.
For me, honestly, the bands that I've seen. I mean, I saw in 1987, me and my cousin Steven drove to Nashville to the Charlie Daniels Volunteer Jam and watched Skynyrd kick off their 10-year tribute band after the plane crash.
Right. They had not played live before that, right? They had 10 years where they had not played together. Yeah.
And it was incredible. It was an incredible moment.
Probably
just to see them.
Emotional too.
It was very emotional. But I mean, the only people we knew were going to be there was Charlie Daniels and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, it didn't matter. We were going because we were huge Lynyrd Skynyrd fans, and got over there and saw the Marshall Tucker Band. And Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's the day I fell in love with Stevie Ray's music. Yeah, and
dude, I should have
really
Stevie Ray on this list, but I didn't know, because he's more of a blues guy. But definitely, he kind of, he definitely
for sure.
That.
And then, I've seen 38 Special 10 times. Yeah, at least. I mean, they're a great show. Yeah. Now, you put a band on here that I kind of disagree with being Southern rock because I think it's more Texas blues, but it happens to be one of my favorite bands. So
ZZ Top?
Yes. Yeah. And that is absolutely the coolest band I've ever seen.
Aren't they cool? Dude.
They radiate cool.
They radiate cool.
It's unbelievable.
Exude cool.
It's unbelievable. And if you've seen them live, you'll know what I'm talking about.
But do you remember how cool they were in their videos in the 80s? Dude, that doesn't even touch the surface there. No. You see these guys live, it's like cool is rolling off of them, and you're like going,
these guys
this is
so
amazing.
Cool.
These are the coolest guys I've ever seen.
Did you go to the river with me that time?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it was hot that day.
It was hot.
It was 2008.
We went to the front. Yeah. Because it was me and you. We got up there.
And Thrash.
And Thrash. Yeah. My boy.
And Joe.
So Billy Gibbons is playing a solo, and all of a sudden he stops and he throws his hand up like this, and he's like points down here and just starts playing on the neck. And I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. Now I want to get into some later Southern rock bands, some that are current and some that are Southern rock influenced.
And the funny thing is, I've either seen a lot of these guys. Listened to just about every guy on this list.
Yeah. So I put Blackberry Smoke up there because I know you're a huge Blackberry Smoke fan.
Yeah. Really, really good band.
Yeah.
I've been going to their shows since probably 2008, 2009, 10, somewhere around there. They were coming to a catfish place in Benton.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
seeing them there, and
that's
really
before
cool.
they were as big as they were going to get.
It's really cool back then because after the show they'd come out, hang out, drink a beer with you, you talk. I've got a lot of pictures with them. Good, and that is the band that was playing at Cass Mountain opening for
Zach
Brown, and it was my cousin Steven, his daughter's 22nd birthday. She wanted to see Blackberry Smoke, and it was her birthday present. Right. And so we're dealing with the brutalness of this. And as soon as we get in, Blackberry Smoke leaves the stage. That's how long it took us to get in, but they didn't play a whole set. That's how brutal it was.
Yeah, this is
Zach Brown goes through the first song and the second song, and Mary Beth goes, I'm ready to go. And it was like I trampled like 6 people. Yep, we're out of here.
Yeah, we're going. Okay, let's talk Zach Brown a little bit.
I love Zach Brown.
I would say they're definitely Southern rock influenced.
Absolutely.
But I probably should have put them on this list. But more country. But I love Zach Brown. Now, Zach Brown kind of departed from some of his later releases, kind of got a little out there for me. But some of his newer stuff that he's put out
he put out a metal recording too, and that was
he put out
ass. What was that?
What he did is I don't know if we're talking about the same one. He put out an album with their producer was Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
I think that's right.
And it was good. It was really good.
Right.
Dave Grohl said it's the best band he's ever played with. He said it's hands down the best, most talented band I have ever played with. And he said that unequivocally. And
Really, I like Zach Brown's awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome. Fantastic. I have seen them one time in concert before, and let me tell you something about Zach Brown. Since we're singing the praises of Zach Brown, let me tell you this: these guys can play anything. They have a single out right now on Spotify that's a big band. It's like an American big band standard, like The Way You Look Tonight. They kill it. I have seen them do a Van Halen cover. I've seen them do a Def Leppard cover. I've seen them close a concert with Rage Against the Machine's Running of the Bulls. And it was awesome. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
He's a musician.
And they are absolutely one of the best bands I have ever seen. And yes, am I excited about telling you about Zach Brown? Yes. If you get a chance to go see him, yes.
I thought if I pulled that up, it would at least pull up that other band.
Yeah.
There's people out there right now that are screaming at me knowing what it is. I tell you somebody else new today that's I've really starting to. He's a country artist, but Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton, yes.
Freaking awesome.
He's very good.
Yeah.
And someone else on this list, it's on the next page over there, that you talked about Chris Stapleton. Someone we've seen recently is Marcus King.
Oh, I love Marcus King.
Definitely Southern rock influenced.
I will pay money to see Marcus King anytime.
Yes, we will. The guy was amazing. Listen, here's the thing that was cool about Marcus King. So here's a little rabbit hole, little story. Debbie and I got invited to go see Chris Stapleton by a young couple that had some extra tickets. Their other friends couldn't go with them.
He's actually touring with him again this year. This
that's
summer.
Great.
Yep, he is.
But anyway, so this is probably like five years ago or so. So we get an invitation from this couple to go see him over down in Little Rock. And so I'd never heard of Marcus King before.
Right.
Well, this cat takes the stage, and I'm like going,
yeah, but when he walks out, you're like,
it's like because he looks like a Muppet.
He is really a strange build.
He's a strange build. He looks like a Muppet. I'm going to be honest. Sorry, Marcus.
He's got a kick-ass voice, and he can play.
He can play. But so like, let me tell you, this young couple we're with, and when I say a young couple, they're like my son's age. They're like Bradley's age. So at the time, they're like 30 years old, both of them.
Yeah.
And so when he tears into War Pigs, and I start going nuts. They have no idea what this song is.
Yeah.
But Marcus King tears into War Pigs covering Black Sabbath. And I'm telling you right now that I was just on cloud nine. And, they had no idea.
And we saw him recently in Hot Springs.
Yes.
It was a great show.
Great show.
Cover War Pigs. I was kind of pissed about that.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. If I can find that and send it to you, can you kind of insert that Zach Brown in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Just kind of insert just a
little bit of it, just a clip, a little bit. Sure,
it's not the normal Zach Brown. It's kind of cool.
Other bands that I had on this is Blackstone Cherry.
I actually saw them. They opened for somebody that I saw, and I can't remember
like
who it was.
Blackstone Cherry quite a bit. Saving Abel is definitely a Southern rock influenced band.
I have not listened to much of them.
I like Saving Abel's first album. To me, is one of those things. It's called New Tattoo, and it came out in, I think, 2008, and it's just a scorcher, dude. It definitely a hard rock album, but they are from like Mississippi. So they have a Southern sound to them that, because if you're raised there, you can't get away from that,
right?
And it's just really good. Government Mule.
That is another one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
That is the guy I was talking about earlier. That's Warren Haynes. He played with the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
And then when they kind of broke up, he started Government Mule. That's his band. But Warren Haynes has played with everybody.
Whiskey Myers, who we saw open
yep.
For Jamie Johnson, definitely someone who would be influenced by that.
Very much.
Texas Hippie Coalition, kind of a jam band, but they're definitely influenced by that, as well as Widespread Panic. We talked about that before the show.
Tedeschi Trucks, man, Derek Trucks.
Yeah. Oh, Trucks.
He can play.
that man can play.
For sure.
Sister Hazel, so there's a lot of newer bands out there, and so, I say newer bands. Some of these came out in the 90s, but you know what I mean. I'm sorry. But they were influenced by these Southern rock giants.
And a lot of those guys were influenced by earlier bands before them. That's just the way the music goes. A
lot of them were influenced by the Stones, dude.
Yeah. As far as the Southern rock bands, I agree with you 100%.
Someone who admitted to it, Molly Hatchet, because I remember hearing an interview. It's like we're a big Rolling Stones fan. Matter of fact, they covered a couple of Rolling Stones songs.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. You can say what you want about the Stones, but they've been around forever. And they're
still doing it.
A lot of hits.
Holy crap, they're still doing it.
And I would have loved to. I wouldn't say I'll give anything because I ain't paying $500 to sit on the grass. I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't doing it.
But I would love to see them live. That would have been awesome.
One of my coworkers, she actually came to my office at work and said, "So me and my husband just went and saw the Rolling Stones," and I guess it was at that place in Missouri,
Thunder Ridge,
and said, "You would be amazed at how good these guys can still move around and sound on stage." So,
well, I mean, I think we've talked about on it before. Another person that I don't know if he can still do it today, but I saw him in '87. I thought he was going to die, and that was Steven Tyler. I mean, dude, he ran back in the saddle. He ran.
Well, I'll find out in November because I'm going to see him in Tulsa.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm taking Ryan Renfro, and the Black Crows are opening. So there you go. We'll get you a ticket. Come on. Come on with it. Come on, Cletus.
This is how
Come on, Cletus. You'll
walk over, but
you'll limp back. But Chris, I guess what I'm trying to say, my friends, is I really like Southern rock, and I think you should too. So
I mean, there's a few we've left off this list that I'm going to go ahead and
mention.
Wet Willie.
Yeah.
Blackfoot.
Dude, did I not mention Blackfoot?
You did not.
Oh, Train. I saw
Van Halen. I saw Blackfoot open for Ted Nugent in Memphis.
Yeah.
And I was 13 years old.
Amazing show.
Incredible. And
Ricky Medlock, who was with Blackfoot then, is still playing with Skynyrd now.
Really?
Final tour.
The Outlaws.
Yeah.
Another great band.
Yeah.
You've got them on here twice. That's how good they are.
What? Did I actually put them on
You got the
twice?
Outlaws and then Outlaws.
ZZ Top twice, yeah.
You got ZZ Top twice.
Yeah.
Yep, you do.
Yeah.
Damn, well, dude, what were you doing when you did this list? I
don't know, man. I have a very limited lunch hour, and I throw these things together during the lunch hour.
Have you ever really listened to any more Ram Jam?
Besides Black Betty, no. But I love that song.
That's one of my wife's favorite songs. She loves that song.
That's a great. One other song. I just thought of a band. I don't know if they need to be on the Southern rock list or not, but they kind of do. They kind of have that sound, and that is the Sanford Townsend Band.
I don't think.
And they sang, "Oh, you know the song, Smoke from a Distant Fire."
Yes, I do know that song.
Yeah, and I love that song. It's kind of a it's kind of a bluesy bass song though, more than a Southern.
We kind of did a barbecue episode, which was whatever. I mean,
it was fun.
The time. Yeah, we had a good time. But you were playing music out there the whole time. We were out there cooking and grilling, and Cinderella, the song Cinderella
by Firefall.
Firefall.
Yeah.
The song comes on. I've heard the song 1.5 million times in my lifetime, and I looked at Butch and I went, "Who is this?"
It's Firefall.
It's Firefall. And I looked them up. I've got that song now on my playlist.
Yeah.
And what was the other hit they had that was really big?
Just Remember I Love You.
Yeah.
They've actually had quite a few. Strange Way.
Yeah, Strange Way. That was the other one.
Yeah.
There were 3 songs that I really remember. They got a lot of radio play, but I put them in the same category as like Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street, and all that. Or who's the cat? Damn. Well, doesn't matter. We're not going to waste time on that. Chris's memory. We're not wasting time on that.
I remembered it yesterday.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I can't even. I look at him most of the time and kind of sing a bar of the song, and he would know who I'm talking about, and I can't even do that.
You can't do that. Can't pull it off with this equipment.
That's right. That's right.
Chris, man, fun show tonight. I love talking about music. I love talking music, and I hope you guys love listening to us. And if you have an opinion on anything that we say, then you should probably keep it to yourself. No, you shouldn't do that. You should actually send us a text message at 501
697
9933.
Hey, guys, listen, man. Everybody likes music is very personal.
Subjective.
It is very subjective, very personal. We like what we like. You like what you like. And we're okay with that. I mean...
But we probably judge you just a little bit.
Oh, we will judge you.
Yeah, we'll judge the heck out of you.
I wasn't going to throw that disclaimer out. I'm thinking we're both Gen X. It should probably be a given.
Yeah.
We're going to judge you for sure. But other than that, man, no hard feelings, nothing. If you don't like our music, we don't care.
Yeah, we really don't. It'd be really cool if you did.
Yeah.
But there's that.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen,
if you did.
A lot cooler if you did. Listen, I pretty much love everybody, but I only like about 4 or 5 of you at the most, probably.
AMF, guys.
Take care.